the man who taught William Kennedy Smith everything he knows, Sweet Stan Lane!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. But first, he's the guy who taught Pee Wee Herman everything he knows. Ladies and gentlemen, 1991's Manager of the Year, make welcome Mr. Jim Cornette.
The golden tones there of Sweet Stan Lane.
Gee, it looks like that Jim Cornette spends many hours in the gym, doesn't he, huh?
Weighing 150 pounds, Greenwich Village, New York, Dr. Mark EKG Curtis. One fall.
I'll tell you, Creator, I'm not quite sure what we're about to see, whether it's going to be action, comedy, or evasiveness. This Mark Curtis, Dr. Curtis, claiming he has a BS in psychoanalysis.
No, I think that was Jerry Lawler has the... But anyway, you know that Dr. Mark Curtis's claim to fame is that he's my personal physician. I bet you did not know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, you do now.
And I still don't believe it. The Creator, earlier here in the program, the manager of Cactus Jack, and Dr. Curtis pointed out, Creator, that he was the first manager ever of Cactus Jack.
Well, that's not true. Of course, I have been the man behind the scenes for a very long time. I would disagree with that. What does that little weasel know about... What? He said that he was the manager of Cactus Jack?
The original manager. And you came in and was somehow able to take him away.
Well, he has some nerve, doesn't he?
Well, he does have nerve.
I'll tell you, Jim Cornette looks really good in this match, come to think of it. A lot better than that little weasel.
He does. Well, as the mic work begins, we're going to stay on this mic for a moment because I can tell you there's going to be a lot of mic work before we see any mat action. Some of the best talkers in wrestling are in that ring right now.
King has told me to inform you, because of you people being so ignorant, he's not even going to waste his breath on it.
Well, you heard it.
Well, that's our loss, frankly. Jerry Lawler, very clever.
I always wondered, what is Jerry the King Lawler the king of?
Memphis.
Oh. Why, thank you, Christopher.
There still are. There's a great shot there of Cornette. He looks happy. He's never looked happier, in fact. He's been out of World Championship Wrestling a number of months. He's told me on a number of occasions privately that he is very happy to be gone, just working here on the independent circuit where he is very, very much appreciated.
Hey, Lawler, I will say one thing for you. It was awful nice of you to bail Pee Wee Herman over here out of jail.
Jim Cornette making light of the very serious circumstances. Paul Rubens, known professionally as Pee Wee Herman, has found himself in. And I've told you have great detail on that particular incident. Perhaps you were in the particular theater that he was caught in, Creator?
No, I don't believe so. You know, that was in Sarasota, Florida. This right here, we're in Philadelphia. In the Philadelphia vicinity, anyway. You know, this is the place where evil really lives. You know that, Christopher Cruz?
I didn't know that.
Well,
Philadelphia's
yes.
a great town.
This is a place where violence reigns supreme, and a place where I feel very comfortable, right here in Philadelphia. Wrestling is a form of violence. In fact, I've brought violence to a new level, to a new dimension. I believe I've told you that on many occasions.
Fans, when they saw you coming out, said, "It's alive, it's alive." I think that they may think that you're one of the undead, and judging from your pale complexion, I can't really fault them for feeling that way.
I don't really care what they think, but tell you what, let's get to this match. Very long-awaited tag team confrontation. Now, Jimmy Cornette here, looks like he wants to start off right away, mix it up with Dr. Mark, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I guess there are no rules in terms of who can face who. If Stan Lane wants to take on Dr. Mark Curtis, I guess he can. If Jerry Lawler wants to tie it up with Jim Cornette, I think that's okay as well. I don't think it's just manager against manager and wrestler against wrestler. Still to come on the program, pretty boy Larry Sharp. It could be his retirement match as he takes on ace Bob Orton, who will be managed by Bulldog Brower, and Bob Backlund, still claiming to be the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, taking on Terry Funk, the former champion of the National Wrestling Alliance, the now defunct, I guess, National Wrestling Alliance.
You see this guy right here? Take a good look at him right there. That's what happens when cousin's married. You see that, don't you? Look at that.
I would have to believe that Jim Cornette is also a very good example of that also.
Hey, mark off a spot, buddy. You're all rear end anyway. I'll come out there and knock all your teeth out, but I don't want to improve your looks.
My guess is Jerry Lawler could make a lot of money as a stand-up comedian. The kind of guy who just goes around insulting people. Don Rickles could learn a few things from this guy. It looks like we may finally be getting to action now here at Rumble 2 from the Camden County Community College in Blackwood, New Jersey. Then again, maybe not. It has been a very long night, a number of hours here in Blackwood, and here we go, the collar and elbow tie-up. Both men about the same height, same weight. Lawler clearly edging Lane in terms of experience. Lane has a viciousness about him, though. And a powerful hip toss out of the turnbuckle.
You know, this referee, Reckless Ron Barrier, I believe his name is, he really has his work cut out here. He has four of the, well, most unpredictable men in this sport, certainly. Four of the best talkers, yes, but unpredictability in the ring. He has his work cut out for him.
Absolutely. I think a serious deviousness, I beg your pardon, on the part of all four men. They've been known to bring foreign objects into the ring, to hide foreign objects as well. All right, Lane is right above our broadcast position. Backed up by Lawler. Lawler does, he attempts anyway, the same thing as Lane did. So far he's failing.
Out of the corner with a hip toss. Very nice hip toss, I must say.
I think Jerry Lawler has some secrets he hasn't shared with a lot of wrestling fans. Or maybe it's just the fact that he is such a great talker. He is not the biggest man in wrestling, nor is he the strongest, but he has been a headliner for about 15, maybe 20 years in Memphis, drawing thousands of fans throughout the Mid-South area.
Well, let me say this. He may be popular down in Tennessee, down in the southern states, but this is New York, this is Pennsylvania, this is New Jersey. Does anyone actually know who Jerry the King Lawler is here?
Well, the magic of television. I think he's appeared a number of times on ESPN. It is, I think, odd that Jerry Lawler has never been, for a long time anyway, with one of the major wrestling organizations still left. Look out! I guess we saw that coming, but Dr. Curtis didn't. And I'm not going to translate what Jerry Lawler just said.
Oh, it looked like Dr. Curtis could use some Pepto-Bismol at this point.
Pepto-Bismol and maybe a few extra pounds as well.
But that was a sloppy move on the part of Jerry the King Lawler, don't you think?
I think it was.
Yes.
I think it's certainly a tactical error to think that...
a foul. You could call it a foul.
You could call it a foul, but a guy like Mark Curtis being able to hold a professional wrestler the size and experience and strength of Stan Lane is just not going to happen. Now the collar and elbow tie-up. We're back in the corner of Stan Lane and Jim Cornette.
Let's see what's going to happen here this time.
Lawler caught by Lane, a roundhouse right.
Lane really dropped him with that one, but you had to remember, I understand that Jerry the King Lawler is a pugilist in his own right, a very good master of the fisticuffs.
He's a what?
A master of pugilism.
And what is that? Is that something that's illegal?
Never mind, never mind.
Lawler paying more attention to the fans. I'm not sure that a lot of his comments here in arenas are appropriate for family or even cable television. So we're going to try to refrain from picking him up on the microphone or from translating him. In comes Cornette. Lawler ducks. But pops right back up, and then Cornette popped him. The unfortunate thing, Creator, I think, is that Lawler cannot really tag in his partner, Dr. Mark Curtis, to deal with a fellow by the name of Stan Lane. It's just not going to happen. He's got the whole weight of this match on his shoulders.
Certainly not. I understand that Dr. Mark Curtis has been spending many hours in the gym preparing for this contest. 3-4 hours in the gym daily, doing road work, working out in the ring with Jerry the King Lawler for this match. I think that Jim Cornette, as we see here, he's been joking a lot now. He's been laughing a lot, but I don't think he's going to be laughing much longer when he actually does have to mix it up with Dr. Mark Curtis.
All right, once again, the collar elbow tie-up. A twist of the arm there. That is so painful. Creator, we see you a lot in certain wrestling magazines, and we've got to wonder just why it is we see you so much and not other people. Just what the connection might be there.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Christopher. None whatsoever. Now, let's get back to the ring action, shall we? As we see here, Stan Lane has a hammerlock on the King.
Why does that make you so uncomfortable? Why does that make you so uncomfortable when we start talking about magazines?
This hammerlock?
No, it's not the hammerlock that's making you uncomfortable. It's the talk of how you are so prominently featured in so many wrestling magazines.
Well, of course, I've been in Wrestling Eye magazine extensively. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Well, they can appreciate the work of the creator.
Stan Lane now backed up, and Lawler misses a straight right, and anticipating some punches and kicks there by Lane. Cornette clocks Lawler as well. Lawler races back to the corner. Mark Curtis says, you take care of him.
Well, I don't blame Dr. Mark Curtis. Why should he tag out and be in the ring with Stan Lane?
Yeah.
He's definitely outmatched. Jerry Lawler, it's his place to wrestle Stan Lane, not Dr. Mark's. What a coward this Jerry Lawler is.
That's pretty strong talk.
Well, I'm a pretty strong guy.
Lawler now claiming to be the United States Wrestling Alliance, I believe it's Wrestling Alliance, heavyweight champion. All right. If this is going to be a test of strength, I think it's going to be fairly even here between Lawler and Stan Lane. Uh-oh. Lane is so well versed in the martial arts. The Enzugiri drops Lawler. Lawler has tremendous recuperative powers, but as we said before, he has really got all the weight of this match, for his team anyway, on his shoulders. Mark Curtis is a young guy. What is he, 110 pounds soaking wet?
No, maybe 111, 112. Like I said, the man's in good physical condition. As you see, Jim Cornette, he's flabby, he's out of shape, as we can plainly see. He's just a cocky individual. He has a great mouth on him, some great one-liners, but he's not a wrestler. He can't duke it out. Dr. Mark Curtis, I think he can take Jim Cornette. It's that simple.
Please. And speaking of duking it out,
I honestly believe that.
And I honestly believe you honestly believe that. It is a DDT on Stan Lane, who is in the wrong corner. And now Dr. Curtis says, let me in, let me at him. Okay, here's the tag. A great offensive move by Curtis. If you don't know wrestling, I guess choke your opponent. And Cornette. Cornette was in just a few seconds ago, but stopped by a very alert referee. Now it's Lawler back in after Mark Curtis has done some damage with a chokehold on Stan Lane.
You say that Jim Cornette was stopped. I don't think he was stopped. I think he was scared. He saw Dr. Mark Curtis in the ring, and he just backed off. That's what I saw anyway. All
right, now Cornette's in, and Curtis is out, and Lawler is in. This is an interesting combination. Cornette, for so long, has been a manager, but he's not a little guy. He's about the same size as Jerry Lawler. I don't think he's the same toughness as Jerry Lawler. Now Curtis comes in. It's manager against manager. Curtis is going to go flying and not of his own volition. Cornette.
A press slam? Oh, my.
A form of it, anyway. Cornette comes off the rope. A flying elbow. Tremendous from a guy who's not supposed to be a wrestler. He's obviously been working out of the ring in anticipation of this match as well. Whoa! High back body drop, and Mark Curtis goes into convulsions. Lawler is very concerned. Cornette winds up and connects in the throat. Here we go for the pin. 1, 2. Cornette was watching Lawler, who for a second time kicks his own man. 1, 2, and now he elbows Curtis right in the throat.
What can you say here? I mean, Jim Cornette obviously has the upper hand. But I think that the tide will change. You have to believe that when you have a man such as the caliber of Dr. Mark Curtis in that ring.
I think you're talking about changing the tide
Now we have a headlock here. Things could change off the ropes. Duck under a clothesline.
Well, it was sloppy, but it effective. It got Curtis down. Cornette in almost that full bodysuit throws Dr. Mark Curtis through the middle ropes. He is right outside here, right near our broadcast position. And we're going to have to be ready to move out of the way as Cornette has his eye here on the table on the monitor.
But he blocks it.
It's blocked.
Cornette
goes flying. Curtis, that's an offensive move from goodness knows where. Lawler now, he's got a piece of Cornette. And Lawler against Cornette is a horrible mismatch. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, but it is enjoyable. A shot to the throat now, Dr. Mark. See, Dr. Mark was suckering him out onto the floor, as we saw there. Ran him into our table here. The monitor went flying, and now suckered him back into the ring. And Dr. Mark is on top, just as I said, Christopher Cruz.
All right.
Now out on the floor, right in front of us. Sweet Stan comes to his rescue here.
Cornette now right in front of us here.
Oh, wait a minute. Dr. Mark might just... Oh, my! No. Whoa! And might I mention, that is a manager. He is not a wrestler. And like I said, Dr. Mark Curtis definitely has the advantage here.
Curtis about, 10 feet up, 12 feet up. Came crashing down with a double axe handle blow.
A la Randy Savage.
Yeah, it really was.
Yes, it was.
Cornette is right next to us here.
Now look, Jim Cornette, now what's he doing here? Trying to take a cheap shot at me? What's he trying to do here?
They've got hold of this monitor. Cornette slowly but surely making his way back into the ring as Curtis goes right back to work on this very successful manager. A snapmare, and the big guy goes over. Now, Curtis drives the right hand into the top of the head of Cornette. You're right, Creator. The tide clearly has changed. A leg drop there by Curtis.
And you notice a lot of these moves...
Here comes two.
A lot of these moves, just like that fist drop, very reminiscent of Jerry the King Lawler.
That's a good point.
Thank you. I thought I might point that out to you.
All right.
See here, tag out to Jerry the King Lawler. Ah, this should get interesting,
This is dangerous. As we said, this is a horrible mismatch. You've got a manager against a wrestler, and Cornette is no match for Jerry Lawler. He's going to be a punching bag for the King for as long as Lawler can keep him in the ring.
Cornette looks as helpless as that stupid comic Andy Kaufman. Looks like he's going to do the same thing to Cornette as he did to Kaufman, a pile driver. His neck. He has just broken Jim Cornette's neck. No doubt about it.
For a second there, wasn't moving. I'm not sure how funny that is to you fans. In fact, I'm sure it's not funny at all.
Oh, I think it's hilarious. Wait a minute.
Luckily, however, Lawler has left the ring, and Cornette is recovering just about enough.
You know, this almost ended the career of Bruno Sammartino when he had his neck broken by Stan and Larry Harrison. He continued on instinct. Looks like Jim Cornette is doing the same thing. But Cornette, if you're in pain, give it up. Give it up now before it's too late.
Well, you've got a fresh guy out there by the name of Sweet Stan Lane. And if Stan Lane can make it into this ring, he's got a clean house, a standing drop kick about 6 feet in the air. Curtis is incredible. Here we go. Here comes three. Cornette slides out of it. He doesn't push his way out of it or power his way out of it. He slides out of it.
A knee right to the forehead here as we see Dr. Mark. He's signaling he is going to the top rope. What are we going to see here, Mr. Cruz?
Curtis can fly. He's way up there. Whoa!
Oh, my.
Oh, my is right. Even the ladies here know that hurt. Ouch. The question is, will Cornette be able to take advantage of it? He's headed for the wrong corner.
Curtis
Lawler
makes the
in.
tag.
Cornette through the legs. And he rolls out to Lane. In comes Stan Lane. He's hot. Those side kicks. The martial arts experience of Lane. Lawler comes crashing into the turnbuckle. Runs into an elbow.
Terrific side kick, spinning side kick into the ribs of Jerry the King Lawler and has him rolled up. And Lane gets a 2 count.
Lane had Lawler hooked there very well. Break of the eyes, that always tends to even the score, at least momentarily.
And a tag out to Dr. Mark Curtis. Let's see how he fares against Stan Lane.
To a still fresh Stan Lane. Lawler connects with a clothesline on Dr. Curtis. I think it's Lane and Curtis with the legal men in the ring.
Wait a minute.
Cornette has got 3 on Dr. Curtis. That's it.
Wait a minute. Dr. Mark Curtis's leg was on the ropes. You saw that. Look at it. You can clearly see that Dr. Mark's leg was on the ropes. His foot was on the ropes.
I agree with the creator, and I don't think Cornette was even the legal man in the ring.
Stanley. Dr. Mark's foot was on the ropes.
Why don't you go over and tell Cornette
Well, I
that
will.
yourself?
Where is he? Cornette.
He's right there in
His
front of
foot
you.
was on
What do
the
you mean,
ropes.
where is he? He's right there. Go over and tell him yourself.
Well, I will.
We'll get the headsets off and walk over. He's walking away. Go tell him yourself.
Don't
I
holler
didn't
at
think
me.
so. There he is. Stan Lane is still in the building. Jim Cornette is still in the building.
His foot was on the ropes. You saw it. What's wrong with you? Are you blind?
I agree with
Those
you.
glasses are a little fogged up, but his foot was on the ropes. What's wrong with this referee? Where'd they find this wetback referee?
Hey,
That's the question.
It was wrong, I'll tell you. Flat out, it was wrong. His feet were on the ropes.
Your foot was on the ropes. Wait a minute.
Curtis goes flying out the top. Lawler, what a great sportsman he is, huh? Now, what kind of sportsmanship is that, Jerry Lawler?
Yeah, what kind of sportsmanship is that, Jerry Lawler?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the support.
I'm going to help him up. I'm going to help him
You
up.
do that. All right, the creator, if we can get a shot, you got to be suspicious. He's helping up Dr. Mark Curtis. I got to wonder.
Wasn't on the rope. That was right there.